Okay guys, we are here in the Villisca ex-murder house. I said that way too happily because there were 8 people, right? Mm-hmm. So there were 8 people that died in this house. They were all murdered by an axe. That's why it's called the ex-murder house. We are in Iowa, and 6 out of 8 of those were little children, and it's very sad. So we're gonna take you on a quick tour through this house, and who knows if we may pick up some EVPs on our camera here. Lots of crazy activity happens here for a lot of people, and it's super exciting. There's Chris, he's here with us today. Here we go. All right.
There's the Moore family before 2 of the other kids.
So they had 4 children, right?
Yes.
So this was the mother and the father of the house, and 2 of the 4 kids. All 4 of these people were murdered in this house.
There's the other 2 right there.
The younger ones?
Yep.
And then these are the other 2 children.
Those are the daughters, and that was the sons. Yeah.
So this is the room where the neighbor girls were murdered in, right?
Yes, the Stillinger's sisters.
Okay.
Yes. Lena and Ina.
I like those names.
They were age 8 and 11.
So there are toys and such placed in here for the little kids. And you'll see that throughout the whole house. So we were upstairs just kind of looking through this before Johnny Hauser came over and talked to us for a bit, and we both were upstairs and we heard footsteps downstairs, and then we went into this crawl space, which you'll see in a minute, and sounded just like a cry, which is very weird. I really wish my camera was going. Ooh. The murders happened in June of 1912.
Took the Titanic sank in April, and this took the Titanic off the front pages of all the newspapers. It's pretty crazy.
You can see all the balls and toys under the bed there. This is the bed that the parents were murdered in. Was that you?
No, it wasn't me. I heard that too.
You heard the whistle?
Yeah.
Okay. It's up here. We keep hearing things.
Yeah, it's like when we're up here, something's down there. Because that's what it was earlier. We heard it all. Someone walking down there.
And Chris told me that's where the axe went into the wall here. Mm-hmm. Turn on the light and let it focus. Yeah.
It just swung back. The sharp end went straight in it.
So here's the closet. And we'll go in there in a minute, but we were in there whenever we heard that cry. Ooh, this shot looks like Amityville.
I bet it's super. Yeah, that's cool.
And this is where the 4 children were murdered. So Johnny, he runs like the tours, and he lives next door, and he does like all the tours and stuff for this house and knows all the history. He had a crazy experience here, which I did hear about once, but Chris told me again today. And he was in this closet, right? You can tell.
Yeah, so he locked himself inside that closet with one of his, one of the family friends, Stephanie, because he wanted to experiment. What happens if you bring somebody in that's fearful of paranormal and she's super scared of it? So he brought her in here. They locked themselves in this closet here, locked the doors, everything, and you could hear footsteps coming up here. You could see people walking under this door. The door started vibrating, all kinds of stuff, to the point where he pulled his gun out and he kicked this door open to see if anyone was out here. He thought there was just a human out here. So, yeah, it was crazy. It's all live too.
I'll actually, if we can find it, I'll put a link to that video if you guys are interested in watching that. So, yeah, I can imagine how if I was like, you know, really afraid of. I keep hearing stuff.
I can hear like footsteps over that way too. You keep hearing that, and it's like almost like a little whisper.
Yes, yeah, that's what I heard in the closet.
Yeah, I don't know where it's coming from.
So another weird thing that he told me was the murderer, the person or people, which I guess they believe it's been told that it's been one person, but they believe it has been more than one person because there were 8 people in this house and none of them woke up. You know, to like, I would assume there had to have been screams.
Yes.
If you're being axed to death. So they, or he or she or whatever, put sheets over all the mirrors in the house, which to me is probably the scariest part. Because...
And there's some that say they found a slab of bacon downstairs too, that the murderer wore as a mask, so that way he wouldn't smell it. So the police did find a slab of bacon down there.
So they wouldn't smell what?
They wouldn't smell the blood and the killing and everything.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty... I mean, can you imagine though, you really like stand in this room here, think of, you know, the kids, there's 4 kids up here, think of, you know, it's sad to say, but think of all the blood that was probably everywhere.
Yeah.
On these walls, like, I mean, it wasn't the sharp end of the axe, so it was the blunt end, so you're talking it's going to take a couple hits to kill someone, you know what I mean? Like,
and it makes you wonder why, though, why the blunt end, they obviously wanted these people to suffer.
Yeah, exactly.
And not have a quick death. But then it also makes you wonder, there had to have been more than one person because there would have been screams if it's the blunt. You're not going to kill someone on, like, I mean, maybe like a blow to the head, especially with the children, but with the mom and the dad,
it sounds like the only ones what we've heard is that the mom woke up after JB got hit with the blunt. She woke up and she's the only one that got the sharp end of the axe to her face because they said it was hard to tell. Yeah. There was years after some detective wanted to seriously unbury her body and pull her eyes out and check to see if the last picture of the axe person was in her eyes. But they're like, no, you're not doing that. That's super disrespectful.
That's just weird science of the day.
Yeah.
It does make you wonder, though, like, it makes you wonder if they could... But this place has probably been cleaned and painted so many times since the murders.
After the murders happened, there was people that rented this out, but they, like, as in living conditions, they want nothing to do with it because of all, they moved out because of all this stuff. So then it went on, it sat for a while and the city actually was going to tear it down and then Darwin came along and bought it. So he saved the house pretty much.
Wow.
And Johnny, and they've done such a great job in restoring it. Like,
yeah.
It was pretty weird looking when Darwin bought it and he brought it back to original form.
Oh, goodness. I keep almost hurting myself in here. I know. So there are nails. Let me turn on the light so you guys can see. There are nails sticking out all over the place here. Just from being restored and such. But yeah, good thing I hit my head on the beam.
Right.
So we were right here. We were sitting here, and that's when we heard it in here. I think there's a storm coming. Probably nothing.
I'm hearing something down there, so I mean, this is the day too, you know, it's 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Still. It's going.
So we were all saying too, we're hoping whatever is here is not the children.
What was that whistle again?
Does anyone want to talk to us?
That's something outside.
Something outside.
I mean, just think to yourself right now, so you are walking the same path as a murder did, you know?
Yeah.
Down the steps, and supposedly into there if it was one person.
How did these girls not hear that happening?
Right.
Maybe they did. My thoughts is they were hiding in this closet. When I first
I found
got...
them in the bed. I found everyone in the bed.
So they never woke up.
Mm-mm.
How did they not wake up?
Right.
It's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like none
Because
of...
when Josiah's brother ended up, J.B. Moore's brother, I mean, whatever, he ended up finding, this is the first room he saw, I mean, when he came in here.
So
Gary
why...
Peckham contacted him, was like, their chores aren't done, so he, of course, had a key to that house. He comes in, and this is the first room he sees.
I just wonder why would he save this room for last?
I don't know. That's what's weird. That's why you almost think there was two people involved. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, people get the same stuff of, I know EVPs of Reverend Kelly. Reverend Kelly, well, yeah, he confessed twice, but never was found guilty of them. The guy was crazy anyways, you know, and he got let off because the Stillinger's parents said a man of God could not do this to people, so they let him off. But there had been, you know, a couple people involved in it. I mean, the most people that's known is Blackie Mansfield and Reverend Kelly, which Blackie Mansfield was a serial axe murderess in that time. Traveled Colorado Springs, there was the same murders that happened. Kansas, same murders. Villisca. I think they ended in Illinois, if I remember right.
Was there no more murders in the town? It literally, like, they just targeted this house. I wonder if they were stalking this house out and they saw that there were that many people there and it was just a thrill that so many people were in this house.
I mean, they had to have known their schedule. You know what I mean? Because it's, what the story goes is that they left to go to church that night.
Mm-hmm.
The axe murderess hid up in the attic. And they knew when they'd come back, they'd go to sleep. So they knew their schedule, you know. So someone would obviously was scoping it. I think it was targeted, you know. That's my opinion, but
Yeah.
Why would a murderer, like a serial killer, just waste their time up in the attic for hours on that one?
Right.
mean, yeah, they do sit there and they hunt their prey. You know, they hunt their victims for a while, but to do that kind of spending time up there.
We're about to leave. If there's anyone who wants to talk to us, you can come talk to us now. We'll listen. Is that outside? I think that's outside, yeah.
I think so.
This seems like a good, like, stakeout spot, like sitting on that bench to have a view of these rooms.
I was here one time for tours and that door flew open. Like they were all in there and no one was here and that door boom, just came wide open. Like, not today, Satan.
We brought the Polaroid along. The backyard. Look how pretty it is out here. Oh, look at this, guys. Cool thing I've noticed about this house just now. HAINT blue. This color blue, at least in Savannah where I live, is known to keep bad vibes, evil spirits out of your home. And so just seeing that, because it's so popular in Savannah under the porches, super exciting. You guys, I love the Midwest. It's so pretty. It's muddy under there. Look how pretty. I'm in Midwest heaven. So these are the parents and the children, the family that were murdered in Villisca ex-murder house. Vernon Moore, born January 13th, 1907. He was the youngest. Arthur Boyd Moore, born March 22nd, 1905. Catherine Moore, born January 27th, 1902. Herman, born September 2nd, 1900. Sarah, the mother, born April 17th, 1873. Josiah, the father, born December 29th, 1868. So those were the two parents and the children who were murdered that night in that house. And now we are headed over to see the graves of the two little girls that were murdered in that downstairs room. So this is the mother and the father. They didn't die until 1945 and 1946. And this was Edith, the older sister, 1892 to 1969. The infant son, along with their two young daughters, also in 1912. Did I say 1812? 1912 and 1912. and then the other oldest daughter who, as normal, lived a good long life. So if you're anywhere in the vicinity of this part of the Midwest, I highly advise you to contact our friend Johnny Hauser. Just look up the Villisca Axe Murder House. I'm sure for those of you who watch this channel, you probably already know this place exists, and you may have already been here. Definitely contact him and set up a tour, because this place is amazing. Of course, I haven't had any like cool experience yet, you know, because I haven't got a chance to investigate this house, but I will say that I feel like it is entirely worth it, and I won't get a chance to do a nighttime investigation of this house this time, but I will next month in October. So pay attention, stay tuned, because I think sometime just before Halloween I will have a video out. Don't know what's gonna happen. I'm kind of scared, because I mean, all the stories I've heard of this place is just incredible. So I hope you come back and join us. Like, subscribe. Again, this is just another tour of a really interesting place. I highly advise you get in contact with these guys and set up a tour, because it is just phenomenal. It's a beautiful home, a really sad history, and from what I hear, an awesome investigation. So